So in this question, we have to find the value of A given this equal matrices. So let's write it down. We have A plus A minus B, 2A plus C, 2A minus B, 3C plus D equals to -1, 5, 0, and 13. So this is 5. Since the two matrices are equal, so we can fill out the equation. So the first element will be equals to -1. The second one will be equals to, let me write down the third element here, which is 2A minus B. This will be equals to 0. Then I'm going to write down the second element, which is 2A plus C. This will be equals to 5. And the fourth element, which is 2C plus D, is equals to 13. In order to find the value of A, the first equation will be used. So from the second equation, we have twice of A is equals to B. So we're going to substitute the value of B into the first equation. So that should give us A minus 2 times of A is equals to -1. So A minus 2A is -A equals to -1. To find the value of A, we multiply both sides by -1. So that gives us A equals to 1. Let's go to the next one. So here we have a matrix. Here we have to find out the value of A. So I'm going to write the second one, that's the one on the right hand side, first. So we have 1, 2, -1. This is a 2 by 3 matrix. 2, 4, 9. And we write the first matrix, which is in the left hand side of the question on the right hand side. -2, 1, 3. Then what we're going to do, we're going to take the matrix to the right hand side by subtracting it. So that would give us 1, 2, -1, 0, 4, and 9. Now to find out the value of A, we subtract the corresponding elements. So this will be 9 minus 1, which is 8. -1 minus -2 will give us -3. 4, negative of -1, so that is 4 plus 1, which is 5. -2 minus 0 is simply -2. 1 minus 4 will give us -3. And 3 minus 9 is going to give us -6. So that is the value of our matrix A. Let's go to the next one. So here we have a matrix A, which is equals to 1, -1, -1, 1. And the condition that is given here, that A sub squared is equals to K times of A. Then what's the value of K? So let's find out the value of A squared. So A squared will be simply A times A. So we take the first matrix and multiply it to itself. 1, -1, -1, 1. Let's try to find out the value of this matrix. So this is equals to, so 1 times 1 is 1, plus negative times the -1 is +1. Then we have -1, which is in the second row, first column. Then we multiply it to the element in the first column. So this is -1 times 1 is simply -1, plus 1 times -1 is -1. Then to find out the elements in the second column, so what we do is take the first row, elements of the first row, and then multiply it to the elements of the second column. So we have 1 times -1 is -1, plus -1 times 1 is -1. Then we to find out the element of the fourth position, that is the fourth element, we take the second row of the first matrix and multiply it to the elements of the second column. So -1 times -1 is positive, plus 1 times 1 is simply positive. Then we simplify this, so 1 plus 1 is 2. -1 and -1 gives us -2. -1, -1 again gives us -2. And 1 plus 1 is simply 2. So that's the value of a squared. Now, according to question, it's given that a sub squared is equals to k times of a. So this is equals to k times of a. So let me write it here. So it's given that this a squared 2, -2, -2 is equals to k times of a, which is 1, -1, -1, 1. So what we do is we multiply this k to each entries, so that should give us k, -k, -k, and positive k. 2, -2, -2, +2. Then we equate each of the elements, so that should give us k is equals to 2. So that's the value of k, just 2. Let's go to the next one. This question is very similar to the previous one, so this time we are to find the value of p. So what we start off by finding the value of a squared. So we take the matrix A, which is 2, -2, -2, and 2, and multiply it to itself. So that will be 2, -2, -2, and +2. So the first, to find out element in the first entry, so that will be, we take the first row and multiply it to the elements of the first column. So 2 times 2 is +4, and -2 times -2 is +4. So this will be simply 4 + 4. Then we take the elements for the second element, which will be the element in the first row, second column. So what we do, since it's the first row, second column, so we take the element in the first row of the first matrix, which is 2 and -2, and multiply it to the second column of the second matrix. So 2 times -2 is -4, plus -2 times 2 is -4. Similarly, to find out the third element, we take the elements in the second row and multiply it to the elements of the first column. So that will be -2 times 2 is -4, plus 2 times -2 is -4. And for the final one, we consider the elements in the second row and multiply it to the elements of the second column in the second matrix. So -2 times -2 is +4, plus 2 times 2 is 4. We'll simplify it, and this gives us 8, -8, -8, and +8. So this is the value of a squared. Now this is equals to p times of a. So p times of a will be simply 2, -2, -2, 2. So what we do, we multiply the scalar p to each of the entries. So we'll keep this the way it is, 8, -8, -8, and +8. This is equals to 2p, -2p, -2p times twice of p. And since this is an equal matrices, so what we can do, we can take any element. Let's take the third element, which is -8, and then make it equal to the third element, which is -2p of the second matrix. Now we're going to divide both sides by -4, so that should make a we don't divide by negative number. So what we do, we first make it positive by multiplying each side by -1, so that would give us this equation, 8 equals to 2p. Then we divide both sides by 2, so that would give us p is equals to 4. That's it. So this is how you solve. This is how you find the value of p.